there was a shorty I fancied on that in that job, because you're spending 18 hours in one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're next to the same person.
Yeah. She was literally like not too far away from me, so I used to eye her. So I asked her out on a date. She was gracious enough to say yes. And me being me, I decided, you know what, we're gonna go for we're gonna go big. Swear down.
Stomzy way.
Oh, the Stomzy way. We definitely did. Went down to the spot and...
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Welcome to the Breaktime Podcast, where I talk about love, sex, and relationships from a guy's perspective, as well as a bunch of other guy shit. The man on the mic is a man who might find it hard to breathe if you've got that asthma. He is also not the only man on the mic, because there are two mics and there are two men. But the man on the mic is Sir Denver B, and I am joined by a particularly well-named man, a man that knows way more about money than I do, at least as of right now, and probably might be one of the few people that I can say is here to educate me. I'm not even here to interview him. I'm here to be educated. Ladies and gentlemen, Stomzy Mwendwa.
What it do, Denver? Yeah, man, it's so nice to be here. Look at me leaning into the mic, already embarrassing myself. But
Man, lean into the mic. God damn it.
what's up, everybody? It's me and Denver B on the ones and twos, literally.
Nah, you're good. You're good. How you, man?
I'm dope, G. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much for linking up today. I'm so excited. I've listened to some of your stuff, bro. It's dope.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I know I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I've done a crap ton of episodes, and I still get compliments here and there, like from a few people. But I kid you not, every time I meet a new person who's like, I've been listening to your stuff and it's dope, and I'm like, oh shit, you guys actually listen?
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
I'm actually very, very impressed. And not just in the fact that you do listen, but also in what you've managed to achieve. So if you wouldn't mind, just give a quick overview as to who you are, what it is that you do.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, first and foremost, I have to give you your flowers, G. Like, honestly, like what you're doing, the consistency, just, pushing out these episodes, entertaining us, making us feel all kinds of feels. The best thing ever, man. So shout out to you and for what you're doing. So a little bit about myself. So, of course, name's Stomzy. I have been in tech for pretty much my entire career, but on the side, I've just always been doing a little bit of high finance stuff.
Okay.
I started off trading like when I was 21, 22, so really early, and then got burned 3 times. Quit that shit immediately because I was leaking money, and it wasn't my money; it was my mom's money. I just always ask her for a loan, and she'd just be so nice, and just.
Damn, I cleared my mom's money once. I didn't even have the confidence to go back.
Yeah, I went like 3 times, and we were like every single time she was upping it. She was like, we started off with $50, and we did 100, then she did 800.
Damn.
After that, I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, Mom. I really am sorry. I won't do this again. But this was just her trying to support me and tell me, hey, whatever it is that you think you're doing, it's not it, man. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. And I never understood her wisdom until after I got burned. So anyway.
3 times.
3 times. So I ditched that whole thing and just, went into shares because she was a shareholder of a couple companies. She bought me my first shares, I think, when I was like 17.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so...
Damn, that's a nice setup. Have you managed to add to those shares?
Oh, yeah.
Like on a personal level,
On a
not
personal
like
level.
on a cop. Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Her system works. Yeah, so never gonna shit on my mom, man. She's dope. She knew what she was doing, and she like that wisdom of parents. It's really dope, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's a thing of beauty.
Oh, and that's good. That's good. Are you going to share any of those family secrets, or are those secrets that are supposed to remain in the family?
Nah, I'm willing to share because at the end of the day, if I'm not like uplifting your audience, people who are listening in today, and just setting them up for success, then why the fuck am I even here?
Makes sense.
Kick my ass out the door.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense. So, first off, actually, I should have even started with this question because I feel like this is one of those questions that is probably mostly asked off mic or off air. Is your first name really Stomzy Mwendwa? Okay, I have an idea where it comes from, but is your first name really Stomzy, and when did it become that?
Okay, so real name actually is Stompy, but
Stompy?
Stompy,
Oh.
M-P-Y.
M-P-Y.
P-Y. So Stomzy,
Kanyaga. Anyways,
Stomzy came about when I think somebody in one of my old jobs was like, "Yo, man, do you know Stormzy?" I was like, "What the hell is that?" I never used to listen to UK drill back in the day, so he put me on Stormzy, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I prefer the Z over the Y's over the P." So I was like, "Hey, let me just pop it in there and just go by that," and it's my preferred name now. And yeah, I like Stormzy more than Stompy, and basically that's the name.
honestly,
That's the story of the name.
I would run with a Z as well.
Yeah.
Like Stormzy it has this, how would I call it? It also has like a bit of intimidation to it. Stompy just sounds like, as in it's like those white guys from like the rural Americas that are called Bubba or some jack like that.
Bubba Ray.
Yeah, like, hey man, my name Bubba. And
Yeah.
you expect the guy to be of a certain caliber and stereotype.
Yes, yeah.
But when you hear Stormzy, it like there's a little bit more to it where you're like, okay, what does he do?
Yeah.
He doesn't just rap, he bossy bops, like something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but so now moving from where you started, so you say that you've mostly been in tech, and then you kind of got into finance, got burned a couple of times, and then you came out with Basquiat Capital. So how exactly was that progression for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to share that story. So, of course, fast forward after getting burned, we started off doing shares.
So this was at like 22, right?
Yeah, this was after like 23, now going into 24. Started, messing around these shares. And, I bought a couple as well with my little money back then. I think I used to earn like, my goodness, I think like looking at it right now, probably like 110 US back in the day. Like very little money, just $110.
It's decent if you start from, 50, 100. Not 800, but yeah.
Yeah, so literally I was earning like an eighth of what my mom loaned me up the third time. But yeah, so basically just bought a couple of shares back then. It was so difficult, not gonna lie. It was actually really difficult to just get set up. But after then, you just start seeing small text messages coming in. Hey, you made like 10 shillings, you made like 50 shillings, all that kind of stuff in terms of like dividends and stuff like that. So I got hooked, and I was like, how can I, increase the speed and pace of this flywheel? So the next thing I did, after I got like my first major job, started out, like literally starting to put money in seriously. Eventually looking at the U.S. markets, because we lived in the United States for a while with my mom. And I was like, yeah, this isn't a mature market. This is like I have the cheat code because I know this place and I know how this whole system works. So yeah, started buying some U.S. shares as well and started to learn. Fast forward, in I think a week or so, it'll be 10 years of doing this.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Longest committed relationship, huh?
Oh man, best ever. No, okay, it does come with stresses here and there, but yeah, amazing relationship.
Well, every relationship should, right?
Yeah. 1000%. If it doesn't have that, it's not legit.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So for the past 10 years, like you've basically been investing, but then at some point you must have figured, okay, I've been managing with what I've got and I've been doing pretty well. Did you get to a point where you were like, okay, I need external capital, I need to set it up, I need to now start adding people? Like what sparked that? At what point did you feel like, I think I am at this point where my knowledge and my finances are good, but they could be better if I added more people in this?
Not gonna lie, that was last year. That happened. Literally, just that thought came, and I was like, hey, you know what? I need to scale this. I need to scale my skills and basically, quote unquote, like sell them because I already have them. I have the results, and I'm happy to show you. So basically, I was like, let's see if I can be able to add value to other people's lives as well, and kind of like that's the whole reason why Basquiat was created, just to help First and foremost, people of color, black folk. Because we
Okay.
are always, for lack of a better word, we're just always shitted on. People look down on us in
Yeah.
different different continents. And, you know, we're like, for lack of a better word, you know, we're like the scum of the world. We always get the short end of the stick, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if we can create like millionaires, dollar millionaires out of the population, I mean, life would be way better, you know?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
so that's the whole goal of Basquiat, just empowering folk of color, people who are in underprivileged areas, to just kind of like look at generational wealth long term and just help them get started with this journey as soon as possible.
Okay, okay. I like the fact that you've mentioned generational wealth. I am going to hit at that in a bit because, okay, generational wealth as a buzzword has been there for the past few years. People always talk about, oh, you know, we're trying to build generational wealth. But I feel like it's been a very overused and misused term because some people will use it so that they can try and take more money, try and skim more from the top, try and, for lack of a better word, scam people. What are your thoughts on handling just wealth in a way that you can stretch it out to the next 1 to 2 generations?
Man, that's a fantastic question, to be quite honest. And as you said, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people have been suckered into schemes that, you know, just pull them in. Really sorry for those folks. And at the end of the day, I don't know if most the people who sell this whole narrative of generational wealth really understand what it looks like. So I'll use an example. Pretty sure you know these folks, these families, the Rothschilds, you know.
Yeah.
People, the family that owns the world.
Illuminati.
Those kind of people, the Rockefellers, you know, guys
Yeah.
who've been in this for decades.
Yeah.
Decades. And it's just the person who starts is the one who kind of like, the one who started it in the first place is the one who brings it down to like, you know, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations and make sure that he impacts or she impacts the knowledge that, hey, this money we need to keep and continue growing it for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So because the term has been like loosely, you know, just used all over the place, people think that it's a way to be able to like make the most money, as much money as possible, enjoy it within your lifetime, and then, you know, you can check out. And then the rest of the folks behind, you know, they can sort themselves out.
Yes. They will enjoy the wealth of that generation.
Of that generation. Yeah. And it really doesn't work like that. You always like look past yourself. It's beyond you. You're like, I'm fine. I may not enjoy this, but my kids probably will if I'm planning to have kids.
That's the hope.
And their kids, I will make sure I teach them and make sure that they understand that this is something that they also need to pass on to their grandchildren.
Yeah.
So it's actually, it's not even grandchildren, it's great-grandchildren because they're skipping their generation, they're skipping their next generation and going to the other.
Yeah.
And building about it. So when you start thinking about generational wealth like that, you actually see how insignificant you are. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, you're step 1 of like 50.
Of 50, yeah. The guys in 50, fine, they'll enjoy. But they also have to think about 100.
Yeah, but I feel like the idea of wealth going multiple generations is very hard to achieve, considering that statistically 80% of generational wealth, quote unquote, is lost by the third generation. Do you feel like it's easier to beat it now than it was back in the day? Do you feel like it's how you raise the kids and how they raise their kids? How do you think that you'd probably want to do that? Like, I know, yes, you know, some of us still pull out, so we don't have kids yet. And maybe this is probably a far-thinking question. Maybe we are a little underqualified to answer it. But in your opinion, what do you think is probably what could prevent you from being part of the 80% of families that will lose by the third generation?
For sure. I mean, you bring up a fantastic point. You know, I think there's this saying that, you know, success / wealth skips a generation. I don't know if you've heard that term.
No, I actually haven't heard it.
It's a term. It's actually a thing. It always, quote unquote, skips a generation. But, you know, kind of like the whole aspect and thinking about it long term, it's all about education. You know, exposing your kids, if you're planning to have any, to money things way early. They need to understand what money is, how the value of what the value of money is, and this is something my mom used to tell me when I was a younger, when I was so young. She used to be like, "You need to know what the value of money is." Never used to understand that. You know, I was like, what the heck is value of money? What does that mean? Up until, you know, I grew up and I was like, hey, you know what? Now I think I have a clue. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And so just setting them up for success early, educating them, letting them know that, hey, you know what, this can go. This can disappear today.
Yeah.
And the way you're living life, you're having these nice toys, you're living in this nice house.
Yeah.
You're being taken to school in a Porsche, all that kind of stuff. It can go away. So my job is to make sure that you understand this so that when your time comes,
Yeah.
you're ready to make sure that you protect and also add. And I think with that, you're basically just setting your kids up for success. When your time comes to, you know, exit stage left on this earth, you'll rest easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, it's a pretty good way to look at it. I'd probably also do the same. I've seen some of my friends' families from the Indian community and how they manage each other and how they actually bring each other up, and it's actually fairly similar to that. Like guys from Asian, you could also say Indian communities, like they basically carry wealth forward, and it goes from generation to generation. But for a lot of us, let's just call it Africans, for some reason, like by the time the kids are enjoying that wealth is probably gonna get finished.
Oh, yeah.
So that sort of empowering the kids with that knowledge, and also not being the kind of parent who like, oh, you know, I suffered, so my child should never suffer ever, and they just splash money. Like, all right, what is it that you want? Splash money. The way they avoid that, not unless if it's like at an elite level where they still have a ton of money to play with, you can see how it's impacted them, and you find that 3-4 generations still doing great, still helping grow business, still helping their families up, regardless of whether they're like 20 people in the house or just a few. Like they're still doing pretty well. So I like the approach. It seems like you've also kind of studied it a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
and you can definitely want to impart the same to your kids. But for now, let's try and bring things back to current reality. Because before we get to the next 1-2 generations, we need to first start dealing with now. When it comes to a personal level, are there any personal financial mistakes that you've probably seen that you wouldn't want people to make? Give me a ballpark, let's say three main personal finance mistakes that you see people make that you believe can be avoided quite a bit.
Yeah, happy to do that. And I'll use myself as an example because, I mean, I've fucked up. I think
Yeah.
we all have anyways, when it comes to money. And number one, I think, is just try to live within your means. I'll give you a perfect example. Back then when I was, I think my second or so job, we never used to earn much. It was like $200 for the month. And then, of course, there'll be taxes. So what that...
Wait, you're being taxed even on that little?
Bruh, you already know, man. I don't think there's anyone in this country who does not get taxed, unless you're like running a cash business, and you're like, you know, I'll just go to the cash office and get paid, and that's it, and you'll avoid. Sorry.
Or you just, you know, sell drugs.
Oh yeah, any of those things. So yeah, I used to get paid $200 a month, and
Yeah.
we used to work for more than 18 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like a 7 to 11 job. Worst culture I've ever been. Shout out to those who are still there in that environment, man. You're some soldiers, I'll tell you that for free. So anyways, there was this shorty I fancied on that in that job, you know, because you know you're spending 18 hours in one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Especially if you're next to the same person.
yeah, she was literally
Damn.
like not too far away from me, so I used to eye her. So I asked her out on a date. She was gracious enough to say yes, and me being me, I decided, you know what, we're gonna go for like, you know, we're gonna go big. Swear down.
Stormzy way.
Oh, the Stomzy. We definitely did. Went down to the spot and spent my whole money on my salary. Sorry, spent my entire salary on that date. And that was it. It was a wrap.
And women out here say that we don't love them.
Oh my gosh, it was the dumbest decision I've ever done. And that's literally lesson number one. Just live within your means. I would have just probably gone to like a KFC or maybe a Java, get coffee, spend least amount, and she'd still be happy because she enjoys my company, right?
Exactly. Actually, one of the funny things that I've kind of gotten some flack on is I've told people, especially recently over the past like maybe 2 years, that you know what, I don't think the first date needs to be fancy. Just make it simple. Do like a coffee date. And there's babes out here that are like, no, Denver, that's cheap. Why would I just go and meet someone just for coffee? It's such a basic thing. And I'm like, guys, this is the first day. Y'all barely know anything about each other.
Yeah.
Just meet up, sit down, get to know about each other so that at least you can know if you're going to the second date. Because my philosophy on it was that, especially considering that we've now started getting to a point where guys now believe that if they take you out on a date and they spend so much money on you, then they should expect so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, more investment equals more return. That's usually...
That's the principle.
Yeah, that's a principle.
Yes.
So for us, we're looking at it as an investment. And she might be thinking, oh, you know, I invested in the dress and the makeup and the cleanser and blah, blah, blah. All just to look good for that one day. And I'm like, you know what, just rock a crop top and jeans and just meet up with a dude for coffee the first time. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Then at least at that point, you can know, is it someone that I'd probably like to get to know? Is it someone that I think I want to be with? Or is this just one of those things where it looked good on paper, but there's nothing real to it? And it's a very simple way to get past that. But there's people that are like, no, if you're taking me for a date, like at least make it like a meal and a cocktail. I'm like, ugh. Have some variety. Go low cost.
For me, yeah. I mean, it's all nice. It's all, of course, ladies will want to, get the princess treatment and all that stuff. But if they're actually like, honestly, I feel like if someone is just genuine with you, they won't even mind that cup of coffee because they really are genuinely trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the person, not the coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, like, I know guys nowadays are trying to shy away from dates because, the statistic I don't think most people know about, but it's like they're like, okay, why would I spend so much? Yet there's a guy that'll do less and get way more.
Oh yeah.
For barely doing jack.
Mm-hmm.
And I know statistically, like most women, although granted it was a statistic from a couple of years back, but most women were going on dates for the food, not for the guy.
Yeah. Free food.
I looked at that stat and I was like, I am never. Then at some point I was like, okay, I don't think it's every woman.
Yeah.
Let's not punish everyone for the actions of a few.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what other personal finance mistakes or personal financial mistakes have you seen people make?
The other one is financing lifestyle with debt. And you already know this. Like, people who want to... man, the culture nowadays is... There's just so much pressure, especially because of social media.
That's true.
People just want to, like, show off and look like they're, I'm the shit,
True,
Yeah.
true.
I'm her, I'm him, those kind of things.
Although I feel like nowadays it's changed a little bit. Granted, maybe it could be an age thing and the, level in my life that I'm at, of which, granted, I'm still technically a kid. When I look at how people are looking at standards now, it's not I'm trying to flex on social media. It's I'm trying to do as well as, if not better than, the people that I know around me. And social media is like the biggest way to show it. Mm-hmm. So especially when it comes to financing your lifestyle through debt, it's very easy to see someone try to look as though they're doing great, even though they're not, on social media, and they'll do that through like debt. So I think when I look at it like that, it starts to make a little bit more sense because you're not trying to compete with the hush puppies of the world. Mm-hmm. It's the guy next to you. It's the guy that you interact with on a day-to-day. that you look at and you're like, damn it, I wish I could go and buy the new car like they just did.
Yeah.
I wish I could take my babe out and like just go on a trip with her and cater for everything. Like my girlfriend's friend was busy saying that she got and like usually it's not like that, like, oh no, I want you to do the same for me. Of course there are some that will, but a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, buy this. So I had so and so had taken his babe out, or took, let's give a random name, Sharon, out for dinner for the anniversary, and they went to this and this place, and they had a tomahawk steak for 8K. And you're like, oh, okay. Oh, so Sharon's boyfriend apparently for her birthday, has taken her to Coast, and apparently they're supposed to be spending the weekend before they come back, and they're still supposed to be going to X, Y, and Z. And you're like, oh, okay. And it's not that they know that they're putting pressure on you. You're the one that's feeling the pressure just slowly trickle in.
Yeah.
So I can see why that affects guys. But when I look at women, I find it a little bit hard that they would choose to do the same. Because, okay, guys might probably compete against, other guys and what other guys are doing for their partners. But I feel like women will compete against each other. And it's not like they're flossing so that they can bag the best guy. It's just, they're just competing with each other just for competing.
100%. Just for competition's sake. They're just like,
yeah, you almost feel like
going
it's
at
just
it.
for competition's sake.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so your colleague got a new dress. Oh, I'm getting a new one too.
And it has
like,
to be
what?
better than hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never fully understood why some people would compete on that level. Maybe you might know a little bit more about. Granted, I know you don't have the requisite parts, but why do you think people compete so much on a lifestyle and just social level to the point where they have to get into debt?
Man, it's just human nature, to be quite honest. You always want to dominate, and that's why there's wars today being fought. People are, happy to post their personal lives and show off, this is the kind of level that this is where I'm at, because I wanna be higher than such and such or so and so. It's just human nature. We've just always been combative. We want to be competitive. We want to make sure that we're, apex predator level. I'm him, I'm her type shit. So.
Apex predator. It's been a minute since I heard that.
I'm a killer. Don't mess with me, man. Do you know who I know? Do you know like my circle of people? Yeah, that kind of thing. So it's just human nature, and people will go to extremes for that. And as we've talked about, people would rather get into debt. I mean, classic example is this lady, this I think she's a social influencer, someone like that. I forget her name. But I saw the story one time that, people were just exposing her. Her friends were exposing her for borrowing obscene amounts of money to do shit, like go on, pay for a flight.
Yeah, I kind of saw that and I was like, okay, that is... I don't know if there's usually a point where someone is like, okay, I think I've probably stretched it a little too far. But I think for other people, and I'm not saying that this is the situation for her, I don't know her personally or anything of that sort, but I do think for some people there isn't really an end. It's like, no, I need to make sure that this is what it looks like and this is what I want, and I'm going to make sure that it's achievable by any means necessary. But damn, if that's just to be at apex level, like, goodness me, I'd much rather just draw my own lane and be like, guys, I'm here, and that's me. And I'll just place myself somewhere and... If you're part of the tribe, cool, come through. We've got cookies. If not, fuck off.
100%.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Like, that's how I feel most people should be, even though that's not really the case for most people. I feel like nowadays, cool as how a lot of people like to make it seem has kind of gone into two camps, where it's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna roll as a lone wolf, and I'm gonna be cool like that. And then the other one is, my friends stay winning.
Yeah. Literally. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the whole team wins.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It do be like that. And I mean, that's just, it's just an unfortunate turn of events. But man, like, just seeing that, I always feel a little sorry for the people who have to go through those things to just, prove yourself to people who really don't even give a shit about you like that.
That's true.
Yeah, they want to see you succeed, and this is in double quotes, until you fail. And then they'll be like, ha, see, I knew it.
Yeah, like they always just wait for the downfall to be like,
Yeah.
And I knew when they were spending that money buying, we knew very well.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah. Hating is the best investment nowadays, man. Like, people just put in a ton of energy into hating.
Oh yeah, RageBait gets a lot of clicks.
Oh yeah,
the algos love it.
Love it. So I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
And I think just like the final point in terms of like the 3 mistakes, like I see folks kind of like do, and I've also done as well. So we've talked about the debt, just living within your means.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing is just...
Okay, so I know that this is supposed to not have stopped here, but we have the part 2 coming up, and Stomzy has a lot more insight to share. So whenever it comes out on whichever platform you use to listen to, please make sure that you do check it out. It will be out pretty soon. And if you like this episode, if you like where it's gotten so far, if you'd have more questions, you can hit me up on the social media. On IG, it is at the Breaktime_podcast. On Facebook, it is at the Breaktime Podcast. On X, it is at Bagaka the D. And on Bluesky, it is at the breaktimepod.bsky.social. Thank you so much for listening all the way to this point, and I will catch you guys on the next break.
But what I believe is that if you put a pastor and a prostitute in one room, one is likely to convert the other.